Well, here I am up at the lake for 2 days of desperate cleaning and reorganization. And it's kind of fun. We moved some pieces of furniture and paintings from Minneapolis to here. My brother and I got here 2 hours before Troy and Sue did. And so we moved the couch, swapped the couch out, moved some chairs in, moved some paintings in, moved some small furniture in, took some things out. And Troy's first comment, Sue came in and said, "Oh, I love the couch." And Troy came in, "Smells like Delridge." So I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. Knowing my brother, it was a bad thing. But he'll just have to deal with the smell of Delridge. It doesn't really smell like Delridge. It may end up looking a little Delridge-like. That's a fear that I think both of us have, Troy and I, and probably Todd. Maybe the nice thing about this house here is it was built when my parents and their three children were essentially adult enough to put their fingerprints on it. Yes, my mother and father picked the architect. Yes, they picked the furniture. Yes, they picked the paneling and the drapes. But the decor was sort of all of ours, and as often happens in cabins, or should happen in cabins, I think, there's a certain casual feel to it and also kind of a utilitarian feel to it. One of my favorite things that 3 cabins down, the Hollenhorst family, big Catholic family of 8 children, was their mantelpiece. They had this big stone fireplace, and on the mantelpiece, on a little nail next to, on the right side of the mantelpiece, was hanging a scissors. And it wasn't in the top drawer in the kitchen where scissors normally end up. It wasn't in Mrs. Hollenhorst's sewing basket. No, it was on a hook on the mantelpiece. And I don't know if they were planning on circumcising Santa some Christmas Eve or why it was there, but it was there. And I really love the fact that that's where the scissors went. And you would never see that. I'm sure at their home in Rochester, Minnesota, their official home, which must have been quite elegant. I bet they have I bet they don't have on one of their many fireplaces, on any one of their many fireplaces. I'm sure that they have at that house. Um, I bet they don't have a scissors on any one of them. So there's that. The problem is at the Gustafson household, the scissors that you might see on a wall, on a hook, on a nail, is not a scissors you'd actually use. It's a scissors just for display. It might be a huge Taylor scissors or a tiny, tiny, elegant pearl handled toenail clippers or something, and it would be arranged just so. So that's the problem with Gustafson, is that you've got this artistic. I don't think that Pollenhorst said it had an artistic bone in their collective 10. How many bones does a human have? 218 or something? Or is that how many teeth you have? Anyway, in all of their 2,180 bones, there was not an artistic one among them. But they were extremely organized. There was a logic that made sense to them, and they were like the Borg. I think what one thought, all of them knew already before there was. They didn't have to tell each other because they all just knew. Interesting family that. They were very talkative, and they were each other's best friends, I think. It was really a very fun family to witness, as was the other Catholic family with the 9 children next door to them. And it's very funny, the 2 Catholic families with never having heard of a condom, they didn't get along. They didn't like each other for some reason. I think one was, they were divided. One was intellectually sturdy, and the other one was more emotional and fun. You know, one family was kind of goofy, the other family was kind of serious, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, the point is, in this house, looking around, I do see that we have a beautiful antique lampshade that looks like it's sort of transparent painted linen, shellacked linen or something. And it actually is thousands and thousands of little glass beads, which I never knew was the case. And my brother uses it. It's probably worth hundreds of dollars. My brother uses it for his fishing lures. So these are little glass beads. And these are his fishing lures with sharp points. Let's see if I can turn it off without electrocuting myself. So that's an example of a function. That's Troy's fishing tackle box lamp shade. Anyway, this house, during its construction, in its nearly 40 years of living here, it does have fingerprints of all of us kids and our parents. And moving up some things from the Minneapolis house will keep that house, and even my grandmother's house. I'm sitting on the couch that was from her house, which looks great up here. It's not as comfortable as the other couch was, but you don't come up to a cabin to be comfortable. No. You sometimes you just have to decide, are your eyes going to be comfortable? Or is it your butt or your back? This one fits nicely. The other one was sort of a robin's egg blue-ish color. which over 40 years turned to a nice mix of robin's egg blue-ish to robin's egg blue plus sand, water, could be a little bit of urine, just a little bit. So this couch already is sort of sand colored. That reminds me, the man that Raymond Loewy, who redesigned the Greyhound bus, chose for the interior upholstery for the seats. He wanted it to be a sort of a pattern that wouldn't look stained if you peed or spilled your coffee on it. So it was sort of that color. Maybe that's what we should have up here, just pee and coffee spill. Anyway, this couch, let me show you what this couch looks like. So we have all this dark paneling up here. And this couch has these nice coats of arms and some scroll work. You're almost seeing my naked body. It's not quite naked. So that works rather nicely. I brought up a painting that's a few inches shorter than 12 feet tall, and it's of the mirror, a arched top, semicircular topped mirror from the Palace of Versailles, reflecting the windows on the other side. So the Hall of Mirrors mirror, and the painting comes in 3 sections, 2 4-foot sections and 1 section that's 3 feet 8 inches. Well, our ceiling, from the floor to ceiling, we have a tilted vaulted ceiling in the second floor here, and the tilted ceiling is 11 feet 10 inches tall, or 11 feet 7.5 inches tall, or some. It's off this much, so it won't fit. So I have to cut one of the paintings down by a certain amount. I'm going to cut it down by about that much, because that's where the seams of the windows I painted were. I'll show you the section I cut off. Oops. Is right here. So this is the middle section. So I'm going to just trim it to there. I'm going to cut the wood and then fold it over at that seam mark. And then they'll all fit. And they're going to fit. There we go. You'll see it up there on that wall. And the colors, well, you can see that the colors, the greens and the grays and the green doesn't match so much anything here, but kind of does. The green matches the mildew and mold on the deck. How about that? And it matches the green matches that painting I did in high school. So if you remember this painting when you go upstairs, you'll say, oh, Pierre used the same paint tubes. Or more likely you'd say, oh, Pierre used the same paintbrushes because he didn't clean them in 4 years. So you'll say, bite me. Just bite me. So my brothers are sleeping. I go to bed early, as you know, and we went out on a beautiful boat ride last night, and they returned to refuel, not gasoline, but booze for their cocktails. And I said, I'm going to bed because it'll take me an hour to get to bed. My room was, my new room here is the room that is used. It's sort of a garage for boats and sails and extra things, fishing bowls now and stuff. So I'm the one that's leased here, so it makes sense to give me or let me have that bedroom. My childhood bedroom is, and all of our childhood bedrooms are a little small for us now that we've got significant others, or in the case of me, a fatter me, an older and fatter me. So the small rooms have sort of become guest rooms, whereas my brothers and I have moved into the master bedroom and the two, quote, guest rooms that did exist, which existed for more than one person. One was, anyway, you don't need to know the details there, but they're still sleeping and I'm awake and I'm redoing my painting. I'm redoing a drawer front for the kitchen. Our kitchen had, in order to pull a drawer open, you had to first open a door. The door was supposed to look very clean and modern, and consequently takes twice as long to do something. It's like the computer where the control panels are all invisible. So you have to first put your cursor where they become visible, and then you find the thing you want. Whereas before, I would just go over to the thing I wanted on the computer and put it in the trash or undo or whatever it is. Oh, we want it invisible so it looks clean. No, dumb idea. So in order to get a spoon here, you had to open a door, and you had to open the door the complete way, not just a little bit. You had to pull it all the way open so you could get the drawer open a little bit. And we cursed them for 20 years, 25 years probably. And I said, Mom, she was still alive then. I said, I'm taking the door off of this thing. No, don't do that. And I said, Mom, listen to me. So I undid the door, and oh, it's so easy. It's not, if you were the only person in the kitchen, it wouldn't be a problem. But when you have to ask people to move out of the way, and then that, there's usually more than one person in the kitchen, so you have to ask 3 people to move out of the way in order for you to get your spoon. It was awful. So we did it to 2 of the doors, but there was another one that we still hadn't done it to. So I pulled it off the hinges last time, and Todd cut them cut the door, the drawers were not as, the other ones we just left the original drawers there, but these drawers were, there were fewer drawers. So there was big gaps, so you could see our saran wrap and all that kind of stuff. So we had to use the door, cut it into 3 pieces, and then we'll attach those to the fronts. I should have had Todd trim off about that much of each, but he didn't, and it's fine. We'll manage. There was, I can't do it now because I'll wake people up, but I'll do another stream where I'll show you the desk that my grandmother had in her house. And I found a drawing my dad did in high school of the desk and the chair and a lamp. He also drew a fountain pen desk set, which does not exist. But the other three things in the drawing do, and we have them all together. So I think we should frame the picture to go next to it. Anyway, my brother's up and he'll want to ask me why the house is a mess already. Bye.